What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to some more Littleroot laddering. So we are officially in Series 10, and I know Carl picked up a little bit of my slack earlier in this week playing his Zygarde team, but I'm going to be finishing out this week, so I'm really excited to get to this. So we have Assault Vest Swampert paired with Volcarona here, Citrus Berry Volcarona, Rose Incense Tapu Bulu, not one that we have seen a lot of in this format, but one I think could actually be on par with Rillaboom, if you want me to be 100% honest. Expert Belt, Aegislash, just to be able to deal a ton of damage to certain mons. If you watched the Kyogre video last week, I believe we played with this exact set for Aegislash, and when it was good, it was absurd. So I'm excited to get in and play with this some more. Of course, Figgy Berry, Ensign here, Parting Shot, Fake Out, nothing really exciting here. Pretty run-of-the-mill Ensign. And then we have Lefty's Power Construct, Zygarde. So I have not actually played with Zygarde, like, ever. So I'm excited just to see how much, like, damage output it can do, especially with all that good stuff. Unfortunately, I did not hit Master Ball last season, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, like, kind of whatever. So let's see, we want this team. Yes. So I'm excited. Let's get to it. Game number 1 coming right up. Okay. Let's see what we got. Eliki, Grimmsnarlization, Mammo, Amoonguss, Ensign. Well, I think Ensign's really good here. Just be able to do with Zacian in some capacity. Zygarde probably just beats up Zacian in like the end game, especially since most of them are not carrying Play Rough. I like Zygarde. I like Ensign for sure. I kind of like Swampert just so we have like a free switch in. Like between the two ground types, I think we just completely invalidate Eliki by itself. And I think I like Aegislash to round it out. Now the question is in what order do we want things? I think I like something like Aegislash, Ensign with Swampert and Zygarde in the back. I could see Volcarona seeing how it hits half their team super effectively. Actually, I think I like that more than Aegislash here. Sure, let's do it. I'd say this is my first official Series 10 games on cart, but we had the showdown this week. So, not quite, but really close to the first ones. I'm excited to play on ladder again. It's been what feels like forever since I actually did. Because last week we played on Showdown, and the week before I think Carl filled in for me. So they're going to lead Ensign, Amoonguss. I think this is fine for us. We can do something like Fake Out plus Flip Turn, or I like Fake Out the Amoonguss. Question is, do I want to Scald or Earth Power? Or Flip Turn. If I'm Flip Turning, what am I going into? Maybe just my Zygarde. I also think staying in here with Swampert is pretty okay. We'll go for an Earth Power into Ensign. I think this is pretty alright. Alright, we get our Fake Out off first. And we crit the Amoonguss. We're so great. They're going to Fake Out here. Alright. So we are faster than their Ensign, or we won the speed tie. One of those is more likely than the other. I'm going to go for a Flare Blitz here. And I kind of want to go for an Icy Wind. Just to try to confirm the KO on the Amoonguss. And then we're guaranteed to outspeed their Ensign next turn. I like this. I'm not going to do a ton to the Ensign just because it is a resisted hit, but lowering the speed I think is going to be pretty ideal here. They could go for like a parting shot into the Swampert, and I think that would be pretty okay. But I think really, like, removing the Amoonguss from the field is priority number 1 right now. Pretty decent damage, all things considered, on the Amoonguss. I'm going to get that speed drop, and now the Flare Blitz should pick up the Amoonguss. They are Aka Berry. I actually really like that in this format. With Ensign being the most played Mon, like, having Aka Berry to be able to resist a hit is pretty fantastic. They're going to U-turn off a Swampert. So that tells me they are Assault Vest, so they don't have Parting Shot. Question is who is going to sleep here? So I'm assuming there's a Spore coming out, and it's probably going to be into the Ensign. If this is Zacian coming in, which it is, this is probably a Sacred Sword into my Ensign this next turn. So I'm going to switch Ensign out and go into Volcarona. And then we are going to go for an Earth Power into Zacian, just so they can't set up a substitute if that is their plan. Like, if we deny them a substitute, then we can bring in Ensign and get off another Intimidate into it. And then they'd be back down to neutral. So I think this is a fine exchange. And they are going to Sacred Sword, but it's going to go into Swampert. It's going to do sizable damage because they crit naturally. Earth Power does just over half. And they're going to Spore my Volcarona. You know, honestly, I'm pretty okay with this. Because I can go for Protect this turn to burn a turn of sleep on the Swampert, and we will switch into Ensign, Intimidate down the Zacian. If they want to go for a Spore into the Swampert slot, they're going to get punished. Like, this is why I really wanted to eliminate the Amoonguss early, because then, you know, we gain tempo by being able to not take these turns of sleep. But I think overall, I'm pretty okay with everything going on right now. We're going to burn our first turn of sleep this turn with Volcarona. Yep. They do actually have Play Rough, but Ensign dodges. And they have Pollen Puff for their Zacian. This is, not going to lie, not great. Really need to get rid of this Amoonguss. So we're going to go for a Flamethrower into... I mean, I could Flamethrower it, or I could just Flamethrower it on Zacian. I think that's actually the play. And we'll burn our turn of sleep this turn. They actually go into withdraw. Okay. They're going to bring out their Ensign. Going to get an Intimidate off. Doesn't really do anything here. Ensign stays asleep. They're going to Sacred Sword into Ensign. That's going to put us down to Berry. You know, I don't feel awful about our position. I don't feel great now, but I don't feel awful. So this turn, I'm going to click Rage Powder, and I am going to Flare Blitz into this Zacian. Volcarona has a pretty good chance of waking up this turn. I believe we're 50-50 to wake up. And they're going to fake out into Volcarona. We do wake up, but we are flinched. Sacred Sword's going to pick up the Ensign. Okay. Not great. Not awful. Because now we get to go into Zygarde. And we can set up a coil. They do have Play Rough, which is really not great. But I think this is fine. What if we just Flamethrower and 1,000 Arrows this turn, actually? Like, what's the downside here? Like, obviously, the Zacian outspeeds us, but... I think this probably picks up a KO. Okay, protectorization, that's fine. Because we're still going to do pretty decent damage here to the Ensign. And then this next turn we can go for Rage Powder plus 1,000 arrows. They're going to Snarl. Okay. Yeah, they're 1,000% Assault Vest. Snarl plus U-turn definitely confirms that for us. I still think this double up KOs the Zacian, though. We could be safe and find out. Like, just go for Rage Powder and go for a coil. I need to remove this Ensign sooner rather than later. They're going to bring back out Amoonguss. That's fine. So what is Ensign doing this turn? Are they just going for another Snarl? Attack, defense, accuracy. Yeah, they just Snarl again. That's fine. We can switch out Volcarona this turn. I mean, actually, I could just stay in and Flamethrower plus 1,000 arrows. And I bet that picks up the KO on the Amoonguss. Like, I know we're at -2, but I think this is pretty safe. We don't know their fourth yet. We know they have Zacian. Amoonguss is currently in. That's really good damage, to be 100% honest. Hopefully this picks up the double KO. Oh, that's really, really not good, guys. That's really not good. Oh, no. Alright, time to burn some turns. We're going to have to get real lucky. Am I willing to sack off? No. I need to Rage Powder this turn. Oh, they have Mammo. Oh, that's really not good. Yeah, I really need to Rage Powder. So I can wake up. Really need you to wake up right now, Zygarde. I mean, we're +1 defense. So, like, it's not the end of the world. I really need to switch out Volcarona because Volcarona runs away with this game. But, like, at the same time, I don't want to just give up Zygarde. Zygarde's taking a nap. Here's my Rage Powder. Icicle Crash into Volcarona, please. Oh, they have Icicle Spear. Okay. That's enough. Stop it. That's enough. You can stop now, Mammo. Mammo, I asked nicely. Okay. And then they probably just Spore here. Yep. Alright, Zygarde needs to wake up. Zygarde really needs to wake up. I'm going to switch out Volcarona into Swampert this turn. Reset those stat drops. And we'll click Protect. This is Sash Mammo. It has to be, right? It just has to be Sash Mammo. The fact that we were just never able to get rid of this Amoonguss has just been a giant thorn in our side this entire game. Zygarde's taking a nap. Come on, buddy. You got this. Alright, Mammo, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, that's actually enough. Please stop. Okay. Alright, well, I think this game's over. Maybe? The fact that Volcarona's asleep is really bad for us. Pollen Puff Giga Drain is really weird for Amoonguss, but like we were just never able to deal with this efficiently. Volcarona hasn't had any turns of sleep yet. We will just Earth Power the Amoonguss, try to get rid of it now. And we can go for a Protect. We had to burn a turn of sleep anyway, so... Yep, Volcarona is asleep this turn. And they have Earthquake. That's going to take out Swampert, isn't it? Yep. I mean, we got rid of the Amoonguss, so that's cool. Unfortunately, they still have Zacian in the back, and they're faster than Volcarona, and we're at like 20 HP. So even if I do wake up this turn, it's not going to be enough. Opponent played this game really well, and we were just never able to actually deal with the Amoonguss in a timely manner. They're going to protect with Zacian because they're going to Earthquake. Yep, okay. I'm surprised they went for Earthquake and not just, like, you know, double into Volcarona. I guess this is our out. Remove the Zacian, hope they protect again. Or they miss a play rough. Oh, they also have Ice Shard. Cool. GG, opponent. GG. Close, but no Zygarde. It's alright. This is what we get to play multiple games for. Ooh, already get paired up. Great. Let's get rocking and rolling. So we got another Zacian, this time backed up with Ensign, Feeny, Rillaboom, Eliki, and Landorus. What do we like here? They definitely don't bring Eliki. If the last match was anything to go off of, they don't bring Eliki. I think Bulu's really important, but they are going to have Sludge Bomb on Landorus, so I need to be able to play around that. I think Volcarona can stay home. I think this is probably something like Ensign, Swampert up front with Zygarde and Aegislash in the back. I like Aegislash. It doesn't really do anything. I think this is just Bulu. I think this is fine. Bulu lines up well against the Feeny. Lines up okay against like everything else. The fact that we have high horsepower means that we can actually do a non-zero amount of damage into the Zacian. Unfortunately, we didn't bring Volcarona, so we can't redirect and then get the hit off, but... Ensign Rillaboom. Okay. I mean, this is probably just fake out my Ensign, Grassy Glide my Swampert, right? Luckily, we get this Intimidate off. Their Intimidate goes off first, so they are going to be faster than us. Yeah, I think we just go for the Flare Blitz into Rillaboom. And we get out of dodge with Swampert here. And go into Bulu. Alright, what do we got, opponent? Yeah, they're going to fake out my Ensign. They're going to U-turn. Interesting, okay. What are we going into? The fact that they are fast Ensign here is slightly concerning. Alright, there's Landorus. Not great, but we can go Parting Shot into Landorus and switch back into Swampert. Could also protect this turn and see what our opponent does. I like that. I like protecting here. And then with the Parting Shot, we can bring out Swampert pretty safely. And then next turn, we can switch out Bulu and go into Ensign. Oh, they're physical. Well, that's actually pretty great for us. Because not only are we going to get this attack drop on them, but then we're going to be able to intimidate them again. So now we are going to go into Swampert here. We can click Icy Wind. Could also Scald. Scald is pretty good here on both. I think Icy Wind is probably a little better just so we can have a little bit of a speed advantage. But I think we really need to get rid of this Landorus. So I'm going to switch out and go back into Ensign. What are you thinking, opponent? What are you thinking? Get this Intimidate off. Now, both of their mons are at -2, which is great for us. Landers is also at -1 special attack, which could be important. Protect. Okay. Now you're going to Flare Blitz into my Ensign. That should do basically nothing. That actually did quite a bit for them being at -2. So I think this turn, I like going for... Do I want to get rid of their Ensign this turn? I think they could switch out Ensign and go into Rillaboom, but I think that's actually really bad if they do that. So we could just Icy Wind. And go for a... Actually, no. I actually think Scald this turn is correct. And we'll go for the Fake Out into their Ensign. I think they could swap Ensign out this turn. No, they're going to withdraw the Landorus. Okay. And they have Feeny. They did not bring Zacian. That's really good for us, actually. Man, kind of wish we had gone for the Icy Wind now. But I think this is fine. We can Icy Wind this turn. And we can go for a Parting Shot off of the Feeny. They also have Icy Wind on Feeny. Very interesting so far. Alright, there's their Parting Shot. Now we get our Icy Wind off, and we Parting Shot off of them. And here comes back out Landorus. Who's not going to like this Icy Wind? Ton of damage into it. Alright, so I feel okay about our position currently. We're not in a position to where we can safely bring in Zygarde yet. There's a lot of threats to it still. So I think now we go back into Bulu, reset the terrain. And I think the play this turn is protect and flip turn off of the Landorus. Are they leftovers on Fini? I don't think we've seen that yet. They're not. Okay. So we'll go flip turn off of Landorus, and we will protect this turn. All we've seen from Fini is Icy Wind. I don't think they're specs based on the damage they did. They might be Scarf, seeing how they outsped my Ensign and my Swampert. But I mean, like, none of those are really surprising if they do outspeed. They're also going to protect Landers. Okay. Alright, alright. They're going to Nature's Madness, my Swampert. Okay. This is kind of fine. Because now I can go... We know they're not Scarf. We know they're not Lefties. We know they're not Life Orb, so they're just probably Citrus. So I think to play this turn. So we'll go for that. I think actually preserving Swampert is good. We'll switch into Ensign the hard way. And we'll go for a Horn Leech into the Fini. I actually think Bulu does really well in this matchup if we eliminate the Fini. And like, I mean, that's weird to say that the Mon that lines up really well against Fini is being threatened by it, but them having Nature's Madness is kind of a big deal. Ensign obviously isn't great for us either, but we have high horsepower, so we just line it up appropriately. Gonna get that Intimidate off into both of their Mons. And they do have Sludge Bomb. Holy cow! Them showing me Stone Edge and just made me think that they didn't have it. That's really bad, actually. Is it? Is it really bad? Like, we get to bring out Swampert here. We bring out Swampert. And we can go for Fake Out the Fini plus Icy Wind. They could switch Fini out this turn. I think that's actually pretty likely. So we could Flare Blitz that slot. Anticipating Rillaboom to come in. I actually like this a lot. We'll click Icy Wind. I have a feeling they protect Landorus. No, they're just going to straight up attack. No crit, that's good. Oh, they're not Sheer Force. They're not Sheer Force on Landorus. They are Life Orb, but they're not Sheer Force. Light Screen Fini. This is weird. Weird, weird, weird. Alright, so I think this turn, I think they protect Landorus now. I think swapping out Ensign into Zygarde is pretty safe. And then we can click flip turn into Fini. Flip off of Fini, go back into Ensign. They're going to withdraw. Show me Ensign. That's Rillaboom. Icy Wind would have been really nice here. Shall we protect? Yep, okay. So we get a little bit of chip, but that's really what we wanted. And now we get to go into Ensign. And we can fake out into the Rillaboom, because they're going to switch out Landorus. And Grassy Terrain ends. So they're actually incentivized to switch out Rillaboom here to reset terrain. 1,000 Arrows is the one who hits the Mons in the air. I think going for a Coil is the safest thing here. And we'll go for a fake out into Rillaboom. Yep, they're going to withdraw Landorus. They're going to bring in their Ensign. Okay, this is fine. You're going to get that Intimidate off. They fake out my Ensign. That does a ton. Nice crit. But I get a free Coil, so that's fine. And I think they're going to fake out this turn, so I'm going to protect. I'm going to swap into... No. They're going to fake out my Ensign slot. So I'm going to 1,000 Arrows, and I'm going to switch out Ensign into Swampert. Currently, Zygarde's at neutral attack, +1 defense, +1 accuracy. No fake out. There's Shuka Ensign. I mean, they live this. They're going to U-turn off of my Zygarde. Question is, what is the best Mon to bring in? And I think it's probably Feeny. Yep, there's Feeny. They're going to set up Misty Terrain. And Ensign. Going to Parting Shot off of my Zygarde. Okay. Okay. I think we're doing just fine. We're currently back to -1 attack. But they're going to bring out Rillaboom. Yep. Which threatens my Swampert. So this turn, I'm going to go for a Coil. No, they're going to Nature's Madness. I need to Coil. I need to Coil with Zygarde. Nature's Madness is just going to trigger Power Construct, right? I think Coiling is correct. I think they could also switch out Feeny. I think Swampert is too good of a target for them to Grassy Glide into. So we'll Coil. We will swap into Ensign. Opponent. Going to get intimidated. I mean, they have to Nature's Madness here, right? Oh, no, they just fake out my Zygarde. And then Moonblast my Zygarde. I mean, we live that. Going to trigger my Power Construct. So this is actually pretty okay. After all is said and done, we recover quite a bit here. Zygarde is still the fastest thing on the field, which is good to note. Ensign is currently the slowest thing on the field. Problem is, the Zygarde is currently at -1 -1 attacks. Like, I'm not really doing any kind of damage here. So I think Coil this turn is correct. And we will fake out into the Feeny. I think getting back to neutral is pretty ideal because then we can Iron Tail down the Feeny. Three minutes until battle ends. We are currently behind in Mons, so we need to catch up there. Grassy Glide into my Zygarde. Does approximately 0 damage. Going to just recover all of it back. Alright. Alright. So now we are in an okay position. Where I think going for an Iron Tail into Feeny is good. And going for a Flare Blitz into the Rillaboom is also just fine. That does approximately no damage. U-turn off of Zygarde. They're going to go to Ensign. If they bring out Landorus here, that's really good for us, but they shouldn't. They should just bring out Ensign here, which they do. Going to intimidate us. Going to go to -1. Feeny is going to Icy Wind, which is going to do a chunk. Yeah, that actually does quite a bit to Zygarde. Man, had we parting shotted into Feeny this turn, I think we're actually in a really good position. This turn we can protect and parting shot, and then bring in Swampert. Yeah, we're not going to get another turn off. GG, opponent, GG. Opponent played this well, and I just feel like I was really, like, losing Bulu because of their Landorus spread was really awkward for us. The fact that they were a split special, like a split set with Sandforce, just tells me that it was probably inoptimal how they built it. But you know, I can't do anything about that. I can't do anything about how our opponent builds their team. So, GG, opponent, GG. Let's get one more today. Hasn't been a great day for Zygarde, but I think we're really in both of these games so far. I honestly think we had a winning chance in both of them, and we just fumbled around a little too long and wasn't able to close out the game. Game 1, opponent having the Aqua Berry for Amoonguss was obviously really bad. And game 2, the split Landorus definitely, the split set on Landorus definitely cost us the game, but that's alright. So we got Xerneas here, backed up with Volcarona, Ensign, Rillaboom, Urshifu, and Eliki. So I think the play I like Aegis Slash in this matchup. I like Bulu quite a bit as well, especially if they do lead the Deer. I like Ensign, and I like Zygarde quite a bit. I think Volcarona has very little utility here, and Swampert just doesn't seem right when we're facing down Rillabooms. It's like the one big problem with all the water ground types in this format is Rillaboom is obviously very popular, but you do line up very well against Ensign, so like you have that trade-off there. You also line up particularly well against Zacian as well. The big underrated one I still think is Quagsire. I just do not think people are going to respect Quagsire until it does something, and I feel like I'm the only one rallying behind it, so I just don't think it's going to be able to happen, unfortunately. But that is all right. I would like to get into this game, opponent. Can we get in today, please? All right. Opponent, what are we bringing? I would like to see the deer up front, because then we can go for like, it's gonna be Eliki Xerneas. I'm actually pretty okay with this as a lead, because here we can go for wide guard plus high horsepower into the Eliki. Could also just gyro ball into the Xerneas. That's gonna do a sizable chunk, and I still want a high horsepower of the Eliki. Just go on the beat down here on turn 1. We're able to take basically any hit that comes into Aegislash because we are in shield form, so I'm pretty okay with this. They are correctly going to identify that they cannot Electro Web. They are going to get their Geomancy off, this is actually perfect. Actually factually perfect. Everything we want to do is just coming up Millhouse here. They're going to go to +2 speed. Now we get to show off the power of Aegislash here. Do your thing, buddy. Eliki's gonna go down to Sash. Aegislash is going to hopefully Oko this Xerneas. Goodbye. Nice lead, opponent. I respect the lead, but unfortunately, you were not ready for Aegislash. That felt good. That felt really, really good. They're going to bring out Urshifu. And it's going to be Water Urshifu. So we can go for a King Shield this turn, and we can go for a Horn Leech into it. Because they are not Sash, we know the Sash is on Eliki, so this is going to do a huge chunk. They're going to detect. That's fine. We're going to get the King Shield. They're going to Thunderbolt into... Yeah, literally this turn accomplished nothing. The good thing here is Zygarde is back in shield form, which is really important for us. Because now we can go for a Gyro Ball into the Eliki and pick it up, and we can Horn Leech into the Urshifu, and that should pick up it as well. Yeah, just lined up really well as a lead here, and opponent is just kind of stumbling at this point, trying to figure out exactly how to recover. Swapping out Aegislash for Zygarde could also work. Surging Strikes is going to go, assuming, into Aegislash, and that is going to be enough to pick up the KO. Yep, that's fine. Completely fine, because now we get a huge Horn Leech into the Urshifu. Pick up the one-hit KO there. Now, Eliki is not looking too great over here, all by its lonesome. I'm going to bring out Ensign. We're going to intimidate whatever their last mon is. We're going to be able to fake out the Eliki. And it's going to be Rillaboom as their last. That's really, really good for Ensign. So we will go for that fake out. And we will go for the high horsepower into Eliki. They might fake out my my Bulu. They don't. They go for the Ensign. So Thunderbolt. Going to do a chunk to Ensign, but not enough. High horsepower is going to pick up the Eliki. And now it's a 3v1 against Bulu, whose terrain is very quickly running out. So we'll click Flare Blitz. We will swap out into Zygarde. Bulu felt very good this game. Bulu felt great. Aegislash felt fantastic as well. That's a good one to end the day on. I'm glad we play. I decided to play one more today. So that is going to do it for today, everyone. Let me throw up this rental code one more time for you all so you can pick it up. Huge shout outs to Carl for putting this team together for us. Wish I could have done a little better for you, my dude, but team was still fun. I am enjoying this so far. Zygarde has felt good when it's felt when Zygarde is good, it's felt great. So that is going to be it today, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a fantastic day. We'll see you later this week. Peace.